This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a GE profile refrigerator that isn't responding. None of these buttons are working. It's not lighting up. The inside lights up though. The lights are working. The fans are not working. And it's not cooling down. Here's the model number. So my suspicion is that the control board on the back is having trouble. So we're just going to pull it out away from the wall, unplug it. We're going to use a 1/4-inch drive to remove these screws that are on the perimeter of this back panel, this back metal panel, where the control panel's underneath. Get that off, and we'll do a visual inspection, see if we notice anything. There was a lightning storm the night before, so I think it might have got fried. So looking at that, we're just looking at the fuse, looks okay. And I do see these brown marks here on these resistors, so I think that's our trouble. And that's going to mean either that we solder in some new resistors or we get a new board. I checked online, board costs about $130, so we'll go and order a new one from Amazon. While I'm here though, I'm going to take off this plastic lower cover and see if I can clean up some of the dust that's in here. This dust sometimes can be the cause of why the control boards fail. There's a lot of dust on this evaporator coil. Sometimes they call it a squirrel cage. It looks like something a mouse or a squirrel would run on. While I was here though, I also checked the power coming down to the compressor to make sure that it had the right amount of power. It should have 110 volts coming to the compressor, but we only had 12 volts AC. So that means it was being blocked at the control board because of those fried components. So I'm just putting those wire nuts back on. That's where I checked for the voltage. That's where the power comes down to the compressor. So again, if it's 110 volts and it's still not working, then you would suspect the little overload piece that's connected to the compressor or the little relay. But we weren't even getting the right amount of voltage. So it is the control board that's causing our problem. And I'm just going to clean up this area really well before I put it back together. When you replace the control board, we'll put a link in the description below. You just make sure it's unplugged, and you can pull off these little electrical connectors after you take a picture so you know where they all go back on when you're done. And then in this model, you can just grab onto the control board and gently pull it towards you, and it'll come off of some plastic pins. It comes off pretty easy. On some models, you have to undo some screws, but this one will just come right off. Just pulling it, you can see it pops right off. And these do fail. I think this could have been from lightning, or it could have been from the amount of lint that had accumulated, causing the compressor just to run too often in order to keep the refrigerator at the correct cool temperature. So whenever you take off these little modular connectors, it is a good idea to take a photograph with your phone, just so you help you when you put it back on, make sure you don't miss anything. So I'm also going to get the dust off of this little cardboard lower panel where the air is supposed to circulate through. It was fairly blocked. I'd say about 80% blocked. And that makes the refrigerator heat up too much, and that can cause some of the components to fail. Either the overload on the compressor or even the control panel. You can use a vacuum cleaner. If you have some canned air like what you use to clean a keyboard, that'd be really good to get into this evaporator coil. These are kind of hard to clean on this type of model. So compressed air would be really good. If not, vacuuming, using a brush to get out as much of it as you can. Wouldn't be a bad idea just to have part of yearly maintenance to go back and just do this cleaning like we're doing in the video to prevent these components from failing. So we're putting that cardboard panel back on and adding the screws back in. And we did get the new panel the next day from Amazon for about $130. and replaced it, and that got everything working. We got the cooling back, we got the lights came back on, the fans came back on. So that control board does control a lot of aspects. And if it gets damaged because it's overheated or from electrical spike, it's like any other computer. It'll stop working and cause all kinds of mischief or weird symptoms like we experienced today. We got it fixed with a new board. Thanks so much for watching our video today. I hope that this video has saved you some time and money. And if so, could you please press down in the video description below the donation link and send us a donation so we can keep this service going. Thanks again, and if you have any questions about this repair, could you contact me at scottthefixitguy@yahoo.com. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.